Welcome to the Zompire Horde Podcast. Join us every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, as your hosts, Vlad the Rad and Michelle of the Dead, discuss horror, true crime, and the macabre. Episodes available on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us, won't you? Hello, and welcome back to the Zompire Horde Podcast. I'm your host, Vlad the Rad, with my always amazing, totally tubular, super radical best friend ever, Michelle of the Dead.
Thank you for having me.
Brought to you by Piercings by Derek. If you're in the Michigan area, make sure to go to Canvas Tattoo Studio and get your piercings by Derek.
Yes, Derek he does the best.
He's
the best piercing.
Tonight. Thank you, Derek, for the sponsorship tonight. We got Russ Stiver here.
Hey, Russ, David, welcome.
David,
okay.
Says, can I see?
Yeah.
Can I see in the house? Well, I can't. What? I mean, what you want me to like?
Oh.
There's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
There she is.
I got stuff.
There she is. Melissa's here.
Melissa Volan's in.
Yeah.
So,
we missed you guys. We missed you so much.
It's been a long 2 weeks since we've seen your faces, or you've seen ours. But so tonight's all the ketchup, no mustard episode. So I got a couple questions. Ketchup, mustard, or barbecue sauce, go, and why?
Oh my God, mustard, because you can put it on corn dogs.
True. I'm a big proponent of mustard, and here's why. I don't like ketchup.
You know what's funny is like I only like ketchup in certain circumstances. Like if it's already on a burger or something, right, I'll eat it, or like a meatloaf or whatever. But I don't like get ketchup for my fries. I'd rather dip them in like sweet and sour or ranch or whatever, you know.
That's a fair assessment. I can dig that.
Yeah. I don't really do the ketchup thing either. That is weird. I did not know that we had that in common.
Yeah. It's just kind of gross to me, to be honest.
People put like my daughters, they put like ketchup on like the rice and their scrambled eggs. And
eggs is the grossest to me.
Oh God, or onion rings. Michael dips his onion rings in ketchup.
I'm like a big mustard barbecue sauce fan for like French fries, tater tots, those sorts of things. But this brings up a really good question. Someone said relish though. So here's a question for you. Ketchup, mustard, relish. You get to eat one, fuck one, kill one, go.
Oh my God. Me? Okay, I would eat the mustard and I would fuck the ketchup because it seems like it would be the smoothest and less friction. That would mean I would have to kill the relish for being so chunky.
All right, I'll yes, that's a good one. However, let me just tell you guys, tonight's episode is not about ketchup and mustard. We're just going to catch up on the last 2 weeks of our lives. But it made for some fun and some jokes. And
jokes.
Let's see, we got.
Hey, Anne-Marie. Hey, Nick. What is up? Yeah, you remember Nick from Crypticon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's his mom.
Oh, really? That's really cool.
Yeah. Super cool person. Super cool lady.
So let's get into what we've been doing the last couple weeks.
Yeah, why have you been absent? What did you do? You went on a trip.
To Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
What? What's in Delaware?
I always say Delaware.
Delaware.
Let me just tell you, Rehoboth Beach, it's about a 30-minute drive north of Ocean City, Maryland, which is where I kind of grew up. And Rehoboth was beautiful. Like, it's actually gorgeous. The boardwalk was small but nice. But basically, so I grew up on the East Coast. For anyone that doesn't know, my dad lives in York, Pennsylvania, but he grew up in Baltimore. And my dad and my stepmom, my brother, my sister, my hopefully soon to be sister-in-law, my brother's girlfriend, we all got a house and we went to the beach for, I think it was 5 days. And we met with my other family, some aunts and uncles, went fishing, ate great food. I swear to God, the food was phenomenal. We had a crab feast one night, shrimp. I think it was like shrimp pasta another night.
God, yeah.
So it was so basically I went on a trip, but I have a better story. Well, not better because it's kind of a dick move by Delta Airlines.
Oh, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie and her family go with fry sauce. And I think that is a great choice too. I do love fry sauce. That does go well with onion rings and fries and tater tots.
Let me tell you, the place I get my street tacos from has a fry sauce that's to die for.
Yeah. So yeah, fry sauce. Anyways, Delta Airlines, go.
Airlines, you dicks. I'm just saying that. Like, that's why I keep going close. So what happened was, before, anyone that knows, I'm on oxygen because of the emphysema. I'm not wearing it now because my machine be like in the background, and I'm not up walking around, so I'm okay. But when I called the company that I get my oxygen from, and I said, hey, I'm going to Delaware for a week, can I bring this on the plane with me? They said, no, let us know 2 weeks in advance. We'll get you a system out there. We're a nationwide company. And I said, all right. He said, but you may want to let your airline know. Okay. So I called Delta. Delta says, when you're checking in, when you're going through the ticket people, you show them your ticket and you tell them, hey, I have emphysema, but I'm not on my oxygen. And I brought all my inhalers. Like I had like 4 inhalers in my pocket. So I get through that part of it, get seated on the plane. Literally everyone else is seated, and the doors are about to close, and this little lady pops on, comes back to my seat, and she goes, are you Vladimir De Winter? And I said, yes, I am. And she goes, can you please get your stuff and get off the plane? And I was like, am I being kicked off the plane? And she's like, I just need you to get your stuff and come out and talk to me. I was like, okay. So I grabbed and everyone's looking at me, obviously, with my appearance, you know what I mean?
What did you do? He's got a bomb on the plane.
Right. And so I'm like, I just felt awkward walking past all these people staring at me, and you know what I mean? And so it was just a really weird experience walking off, because it was like all eyes were on me. And I get it. Like I get those looks a lot, but this time it was in like a negative, you know what I mean? Like way.
Yeah. Well, everybody,
like, look at his cool tattoos. It's like, what did that criminal do? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they get me off the plane, and the pilot comes out, like the actual pilot. And he's like, are you supposed to be on oxygen? And I said, yeah. And then I told him the whole story, exactly what I just told you. And he walks away with the little lady, and he's like, talks to her for a second, gets on the plane, and they close the door. And she's like, yeah, he's not going to fly you. He doesn't feel comfortable flying you. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Like, doesn't make any sense. So I just want to put this up because whoever wrote that is 100% what the fuck. So yeah. I get off I walk back up, and the whole time I'm like, you can't kick me off the plane for this. Like, that's ridiculous. And I get to the
kick me off the plane because I need to breathe.
So I get to the ticket booth or whatever, and then the lady, I'm talking to him. I'm like, I want a supervisor. I want everyone's name. I want that pilot's name. You know what I mean? The whole nine. And they're like, this whole time they're pretty much ignoring me, everything I'm saying. And yes, Melissa. And they're ignoring everything I say. Balder, come here, buddy. And I don't know why he's crying in the other room. They're pretty much ignoring everything I say. Then like the supervisor lady runs over to me without a ticket in her hand and says, you need to run the B-28. That plane is already boarded. You need to get on it now to go to Charlotte. I'm going to Baltimore. I'm supposed to go to Minneapolis first. So now I'm on a completely another plane, and with no ticket. I had to run down there, and they're like, I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be running, not even supposed to be walking without my oxygen. And so I run down there, get my plane, and he get on the plane. And on this plane, everyone's seated already. They're about to close the door when I run to it. And the stewardess or whatever is like, dude, where's your ticket? And she's like, just put him on the plane. He's got to go. And they put me on this plane with no ticket that I was going to Charlotte. I landed in Atlanta. So I didn't even go to the right city. When I got off the plane, I again asked to speak to a supervisor, and they were like, this lady came, looked up my record or whatever, and she said, there's no notes that say what plane you're supposed to be on or anything, but there is a plane going to Baltimore. We'll put you on it. So she prints me out a ticket, and they just send me on a plane to Baltimore, where I got finally picked up by my dad and told him the whole story.
Wow.
I made a tweet, and within 4 minutes, I had a reply from Delta. And they're like, we're going to investigate this, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, they come back. I get an email, basically, Balder.
Is he trapped in the room with the door? Did he close the door on himself? Because sometimes my dogs do that.
His allergies have been acting up. I got him some meds, but he's like chewing on his butt.
Oh.
I got him this stuff, though, the cherry flavored don't eat your butt stuff.
Yeah.
It kind of works. But anyway, so they send me an email that's like, we're really sorry, but the captain has the authority to fly who he wants if there's a medical. But then they went on to say that there's oxygen on the plane, for I'm sorry, I'm putting this up. Real quick too, tonight's episode is brought to you by Piercings by Derek. If you're in the Michigan area and you want to get a piercing or a tattoo, head on down to Canvas Tattoo Studio. There you go, Derek. You are tonight's what did I
official sponsor?
Official sponsor.
Official sponsor.
Official.
I love the shirt. That's really cool, by the way.
It is really cool. We'll have to get you one, and we'll make it all cute tank toppy for you. But so
I don't even care if it's a tank top, as long as it's like the girl cut, because like the guy cut, it's just like a square, and then I feel like my armpits are all tight because boobs.
But yeah, so they send me this email that basically is like, we're sorry, but he has that right, and then go on to say that they do have oxygen on board, but it's for emergencies. I'm like, that would have been, I would have needed it if it was emergency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the kind
of Derek
Winsky is. He's got you. He's got you.
Awesome. Back. Sweet.
But so I went through all that on my way to Baltimore.
Oh my God. Does it get better?
Well, my time did get better. I did go fishing on Monday. I have a terrible sunburn that's peeling, which not terrible. Like, it was a great time.
Yeah. No, but I mean with like Delta, does the plot thicken?
No,
does
not
the story
really.
continue? I mean, are you going to get like a kickback or an apology,
so I did get
or
a $200 like
credit so you can fly with them again?
Right.
Yay.
Right.
You're not going to fly with them again.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, I feel like
thanks, David.
Pretty discriminated against for that fact, but at the same time, I guess a $200 credit, and I got here's the thing: I was supposed to land at midnight. I landed at 1 a.m. So it's like it was stressful for that time period, and like I said, embarrassing in sorts.
I would have hated that. My anxiety would have been like,
yeah, it was pretty stupid. But then once I got there, me and my dad drove up to his house and hung out for about 4 hours into the wee hours of the morning, bullshitting, and it says Fight Club, the thing Brad Pitt says about it. You'll have to tell me what he says. I've seen that movie several times, but I don't remember that specific quote. Do you remember a Brad Pitt quote about oxygen?
No, but I've seen it a lot too. As soon as we hear it, we'll be like, oh yeah, duh.
Then after that, so I got there. My brother, we drove to Rehoboth the next day. Great time. My sister flew down from Rhode Island, so we got to hang out with her. Is that
hey, Brittany?
Yes, I have 1 year to use that credit. 1 year.
Wow.
But yeah, so that was my experience with Delta. Screw them. But other than that, like the rest of the time was really good.
Good.
Like I said, I went fishing on Monday. My uncle has a pontoon boat. So
what did you catch? Besides crabs.
I caught 4 sea bass, 2 croakers, a silverfin or silverfish. I think it's called silverfin, and a cod.
Cool. Did you eat them all?
No, none of them were big enough really to eat, and the cod
that's what she said.
Slipped my grips on shore. Like as soon as I got him on the shore, he spit the hook, and then a wave came in, and I actually tried to step on him to grab him, but then I screamed like a little girl, and he got away.
That's pretty funny. Oh, God.
Brittany, your name does show finally. Thanks for
what is out, Brittany?
Brittany is an awesome, awesome person. Her and her husband have helped me out quite a few times.
Wasn't she your old neighbor?
No.
Oh, is that somebody else?
My old neighbor.
I thought you had somebody like that lived like down the road from you or something.
Oh yeah, that's another buddy of mine, Luke. He comes up as Facebook.
Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. You just have so many friends. I can't keep them straight. Which brings me to this Face of Horror competition that everybody is in. They saw that thing. I signed up for it, and then I started seeing people's little ads coming up here. I'm like, God damn it. I have no fucking chance now. You and I are in competition with one another now, and all of our friends.
Here's the way I look at it: is I'm going to literally vote for all of my friends that are doing it, just because I would hope that all of them would. It's not really a competition between us. It's like it's a.
How many votes can you collect, basically?
Right. It's a popularity contest.
It really is. It's like looking for prom queen or something like that when you're in high school, but it's for the bad kids now.
Exactly. I wore my Saw hat because it
Yeah.
reminded me of Ketchup Swirl.
Oh yeah, yeah, I can see
I was
that.
trying to play in there, just so you know.
Yeah. I was
Um,
gonna put like some ketchup on my face, like I just got done eating a hot dog or something, and just leave it there and have you be like, hey man, you got a little something.
yeah, Angela suggested I pour ketchup on myself, and I was like, "Ugh."
Oh, that
I'm
would be
definitely
awesome.
not
Just take
doing
your
that.
shirt off and like pour it on yourself and just like start rubbing it and lathering it all over yourself and like having it to music and yeah.
The other good thing
No,
that this whole week that we were there in Rehoboth, I ate seafood literally almost for every meal.
that's freaking awesome. I
I
love
love
seafood.
seafood.
I
Yeah.
like crab especially.
I was curious though because you've been posting pictures of working on movies lately and films, and what have you been doing?
Um, exactly that. I've been working on films. Um, and
Anything like you can tell us about?
well, I'm working on one called Cry Havoc.
Okay.
And that's like an action crime drama type of thing with like stunt men. There's stunt men, and those
Ooh,
dudes are big and tough.
I like it.
And then another one called The Corruption, which is more of a psychologically disturbing film. Got a couple other projects in the works for the future that are just still kind of like on the
In
down low
limbo.
right now. But Richie Ramone came to town, and he came to the Funhouse in Seattle on the first, which was last Thursday night. Went and saw it, puts that ketchup on the skin. I love it, Melissa. Or else it gets the buns again. Um, so we went to go see Richie Ramone, which was awesome because he gave us passes. You know, we put it on the guest list. Um, it was a great show. He played some Ramones songs and stuff like Sheena is a punk rocker, Blitzkrieg Bop, some other stuff, a lot of his original solo things, and he did a Depeche Mode cover, Enjoy the Silence. It was
Oh, nice.
freaking awesome. It
Yeah, I
was
love
it was
that
really
song.
fun. God, I forgot. I might have to go and get my planner to go see what I did because I do so much stuff. I forget what I do. So.
Well, real quick, you and I were talking about there was a guest that we may be having on soon.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Why don't you
I'm
talk
not
about her?
I'm not gonna say her name, but I am gonna
Okay.
tell real quick. She did agree. I'm shooting for next Monday, but I would like to read you her film credentials because everyone in here, whether you like horror or pop culture, comedies, those sorts of things, she's done something for everyone. So she's been in American Hustle, which had what's his name, Christian Bale, one of my favorite actors. So I had to point that out. But she was in Grown Ups 2, Sex Tape, Ted 2. I always call it Ripped, but it's the RIPD.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, she was in
I
that as
I
well.
haven't seen that, and I want to see that because that looks hilarious.
Oh, really? It's really good. I've watched it, but I can't remember what it stands for. But she was also in Patriots Day, um, Bleed for This. Like she just has been in so much stuff. It's ridiculous. But she's going to be a guest, and I'm really excited because we've had actors and stuff on before, but like not someone that's worked on films of that magnitude.
Right. Like
I guess Carl York, worked on Idle Hands and Apollo 13, which are certainly
yeah.
larger films. But I mean, when you talk about Ted 2 with Mark Wahlberg, and
You almost said
Mila
Marky
Kunis.
Mark. I felt it.
That's what I know him as.
Me too.
Um,
And his Spunky Bunch.
but I mean, to have someone like that's worked on films with him and Mila Kunis and Grown Ups 2 with Chris Rock and Adam Sandler and David Spade, I think it's going to be really, really cool. Oh, here we go. It's the Rest in Peace Department. Thank you, Stephen Belzer.
Steven!
But so
That's
yeah.
Nick's dad, by the way.
What's that?
That's Nick's dad.
Oh,
Nick
hey,
the
Nick.
zombie. Yeah.
Nick's dad. How's it going?
Yeah.
I
That's
actually saw a
Steven
picture
is
you
Nick's
posted
dad.
of you guys together recently.
What's that?
You and Nick, a picture that you posted of you two recently.
Oh yeah.
That was
I love that
adorable.
picture. We always get a really good picture. We always get lots of really good pictures together at CryptoCon. In fact, one year he had a coffee mug made for me, and it was all photos of us together at different photo shoots we've had, and it was darling, and I love it, and I still use it all the time. And I did break the handle, but I glued it back together, and I still use it, and it's my favorite coffee mug because it's got Nick on it and me together. We're hugging, and I love it.
Rest in Peace Department is Nick's favorite film, so I suggest you
Nice.
watch that quickly.
Nice. Maybe, yeah, we're definitely gonna have to watch that then. Are we gonna have her next week, or do you know what the
I'm
plan
working
is?
on it. She hasn't replied to my last message yet, so I'm working on it. And if not, we'll come up with something else in the meantime to do.
Yes.
But so what's going on with? Do you have any updates on the Vengeance 2 film?
Yeah, Vengeance 2. That is supposed to be coming out October 1st. Yes.
First of all, just for anyone that doesn't know, Michelle the Dead worked on what is it? Vengeance
It's
2.
Friday the 13th, Vengeance Part 2, Bloodlines.
Boom.
And Vengeance Part 1 came out a couple years ago. I think it was 2017.
Which is a great fan film. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch. It's on YouTube.
And it was so good. I had to have a part 2 because you kind of left at the end going, okay, now what? So part 2 is the now what? I got to do makeup on that, which was awesome. And I also had a small role with Richie Ramone. That's how I met him.
That's what I was going for.
And
next.
yeah. I met so many freaking cool people. I feel so fortunate to have gotten that opportunity because I met so many cool people and it led to so many other things just kind of like dominoed out.
Right.
And, I'm in a pretty good place right now, and I do have that to thank. So thank you, Vengeance crew.
I feel like when you, especially in like the film industry or the music industry, if you have a good work ethic and you're good at your job, like you tend to like kind of fracture off with certain people that, you know what I mean, you bond with on those sets.
Right.
When they go to do another project and they're like, we need the makeup girl. They're like, call Michelle, or
that's been happening a lot lately. There is a horror 48 film competition, 48-hour film competition coming up in October. And I was asked by 4 different groups, and I was like, that made me feel really good. I could only go with one, but I mean, I'm not the best, but I'm also not the worst.
She's the best around.
But I'm trying to be fun to be around and professional and just make it a fun experience when we work together.
Well, I can tell you from my experience working with you, it was a fucking blast.
Yay!
I can't wait to do it again.
I know. May can't get here soon enough. So you gotta.
I'm hoping that with the fall months, we start getting like here's our first guest. Here's our next guest. That's what I always wait for when it comes to convention.
Yeah.
When it's your local convention, you always kind of like you're waiting to see who the first guest is, and then you go back and check and hopefully it's like you get those people that you haven't seen before. That was what was cool last year was being there all 3 days. Obviously you got a much more
4. We were there 4 days.
4 days. You get a lot more opportunities to ride the elevator with Christina Leeds or the gal from Evil Dead or Ash vs. the Evil Dead. I can't remember her name. But she was super awesome. Like it's like you get so many more experiences that you don't get typically as the one-day patron who doesn't have a room in the hotel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Thing.
Exactly. And when you're staying in the main tower too, I mean, he's like the guy who plays Art the Clown in Terrifier. I was in the elevator with him a couple years ago. I was in an elevator with Cassandra Peterson, who's Elvira, a couple years ago. And it was just like me and her assistant. I was like, she was in this cute little business suit, and she had her, she's got red hair, and it was all done all nice, and she was like all pretty and like businessy looking, and I was like, oh my god, like, hi, Miss Peterson, my name is Michelle. A total fangirl.
I don't care what anyone says. Panda Star is the best convention celebrity story.
Oh, about the tattoo on her?
No, the pizza.
Oh God. Yeah.
And then she signed the dollar bill that she left, or what? No, it was like a $5
pizza
bill.
was okay.
Wasn't it a $5 bill?
I don't know. I don't remember. We'll have to get Panda on here. You're just so fucking funny, dude. That was a fun time. We're gonna have to talk about like how you have like your lights in your
right
bathroom and stuff like that. One of the other rooms, I think it was the Karaoke, had a lot of really cool lighting like that. I want to get a bunch of lighting like that for the VIP room.
A good idea would be, right after, like literally the day after Halloween would be to go to those places. Cause a lot of that stuff is like 50% off, 60% off. And those, you can find a lot of those things for cheap,
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely going to get a shitload of extension cords because we did not have enough of those.
That's right.
I like the tablecloth situation we had last year. It was really pretty and classy, and everybody loved it. So we'll do that again.
And we need to preemptively think of our drinks instead of like last minute trying to come up
Yeah.
with.
Well, we tried to, but then it just kind of, then everything else just kind of came crashing down at once. And, but yeah, I was thinking about that too. I mean, something that's cheap, like we did, well, relatively inexpensive as far as booze goes, I guess.
Right. Well,
Something that's tasty. Like everybody wanted like rum and whiskey and Coke. Why don't we just have a whiskey and Coke and call it something?
Yeah.
I mean, call it like the Terminator or something. Yeah. That way they'll have a cool name, and it's something it's nothing weird. It's like, oh, what is this thing? It's got like grenadine and apple liqueur and a chunk of chocolate, and is it poop? I'm not really sure. So
well, you got to think too. It's the VIP room, so we deal with like the VIPs and the celebrities, and a lot of those celebrities and stuff go to the conventions like every weekend, and it's like I'm sure in their brain they were like, I just want a whiskey and Coke. I'm sick of the purple coffins and the
Can I just get a whiskey on the rocks, please? Yes, you can.
When Ray Wise was there, he and Steven were trying to decide what vessel to send me to hell in. Great guess.
That is awesome. Ray Wise is awesome. I sat with him at the brunch table that year that they were there. Freaking hilarious. What kind of vessel did you guys decide on, Anne Marie?
So let me tell you my Ray Wise story. I have a portrait of Log Lady tattooed on my left foot.
That's freaking awesome. I did not know that.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to send you a picture of it. Yeah, I have a.
Why don't you just show us right now? Just put your foot up there and just show us.
I think I did this before. If I can, I have to stand on a chair.
Oh my God!
Yeah. So I got Log Lady.
I love you so much.
If it makes you, I don't know if you know this, but I have George Romero on my other foot.
That's awesome, dude.
But anyway, so I have that tattoo. So the story why I got that tattoo, I do love Twin Peaks. We live in Twin Peaks country. But I got George Romero on my right foot first, and everyone was like, "Is that your granddad? Is that your granddad?" Because not everyone is a horror nerd like us. And I'm like, "No, it's no." And then finally, I'm like, "Yeah, it's my granddad." And I was like, I have to get this like crazy woman to put on my left foot, so people are like,
that's my grandma.
These are my grandparents.
That's me, Ma.
So I was like, "What's the craziest woman I know?" And I'm like, "Blog Lady." And,
Fuck yeah.
So she ended up on my left foot. So anyway, I'm at that convention with Ray Wise and what's the girl that played the daughter, the one that died? I can't remember her name. The actress, Sherilyn.
Yeah.
No, I don't remember her name. But they were both sitting there, and I go up to Ray Wise and I'm talking to him for a minute, and I told him about my foot tattoo, and I can't remember old girl's name, but he pulls her over and I'm showing him the foot tattoo, and I hold on 1 second, talk for a second.
Okay. I really don't know what to talk about.
Okay, I'm back.
The Dust Buster.
I'm back.
They were going to put you in a Dust Buster as your vessel to hell. Oh my God.
They thought they were so funny. So this is my Twin Peaks. I got 4 autographs on it. I technically have 5 because I have one on another piece. But what the hell is her name? I can't remember. Somebody tell me her name. I know one of you knows. But anyway, Ray Wise wrote, "To Vlad, you are a unique individual. It was wonderful to meet you. All the best from Leland P. Ray Wise." Which you can see right there.
Look at that.
So anyway, I show him my foot tattoo. Sherilyn Finn, thank you, Anne Marie. So yeah, I show him my foot tattoo, and he pulls her aside, and we like go in the back, and I told him this story, and she wrote, actually, what did she write? "To Vladimir, send grandmama a hug from me. Many blessings." That's what Sherilyn Flynn wrote.
That's awesome.
Because it's like in silver in there. But after I told her that story about it being my grandma, that's what she wrote. She's like,
"That's really cool."
Yeah, I was like super stoked. But back to Ray Wise, he's the coolest dude alive. I don't care what you say. Don't fucking at me. Don't send me private messages telling me I'm wrong. You're fucking wrong. Ray Wise is the man of men. That dude
Calm down, Vlad.
So nice.
Shh, calm down.
There's
He
a girl
is.
sitting next to him pouring him drinks, and he's just sitting there with a cocktail. And I'm just like, man, what's it like being the coolest dude ever? You know what I mean? Like, fuck, save some pussy for the rest of us. Jesus Christ. He was one of the coolest celebrity meetings I've ever had. The other one is someone you actually know too, is CJ Graham, because me and his roommates were cousin, or me and his cousins were roommates. And so that was a really cool meeting because we got to really connect on a more personal basis because the cousin had passed away. So that was more of a personal, like, awesome
experience. Not like a fan thing.
Right. But Ray Wise was fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. He was so cool. I'm like, I really thought he was the coolest dude on earth.
Yeah. Well, Terry Kaiser from Bernie, from Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah. He's also a sweet, sweet man.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Was he the one that was like the Bernie dude?
Yeah.
That's like the easiest acting job anyone could ever possibly have, right? Stay limp the whole time.
But look good doing it.
Hey.
Make sure you fall the right way.
Yeah. Oh, when you're sitting there like.
Oh gosh. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling actually pretty good. I haven't checked my oxygen since this morning, but this morning I was at 94 and I wasn't on oxygen. So that's a really high number for me. I haven't hit that off of oxygen in quite some time. Typically I'm at like 90, 91, and then my oxygen brings me up to 94 because I'm still on like 2 liters because I have to see my pulmonary specialist still, which is
when is that?
September 25th. So a couple of weeks.
At the end of the freaking month, man.
Dude, I've been waiting like
you could have died by now, and then what? We wouldn't be sitting here right now having this podcast.
And then fucking Delta wouldn't have been able to screw me like they did.
God, Delta. God. Yeah. Delta changed our flights a bunch of times when I went to New Orleans. They're like, your flights have changed. Your flights have changed. Your flights have changed. It's like, dude, I was on 5 freaking airplanes.
When you went just like a couple months ago?
Yeah, in June.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. Well, because I was trying to go cheap, and like Delta's cheap, and that's cheap for a reason.
The one thing I will say about Delta
is send me money.
They had the little TVs in the back screen, and you got to watch free movies.
Yeah. So I watched a movie called Old on the plane.
Old?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is that the one where they
go to that island?
Yeah, that is a fucking cool movie.
Yeah, like at first I was like, oh, this is like the fucking worst acting and like the worst freaking dialogue. And then like it got into it a little bit more. And it's like, I could kind of put that aside. The idea of this is really kind of fucking creepy. Yeah. It was the chick with the osteoporosis or whatever. And when she like kept breaking her limbs in the cave and falling and just re-breaking. And she was like this knot of limbs. That was freaking scary. That was so terrifying. That was the best part of the whole movie. I loved it. And I try to tell people about it. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, how can you not know what I'm talking about if you've seen the movie? Oh, God, it's so good.
This is what we're going to do. We're going to do homework just in case we don't get this actress on next week. Maybe it's the following week that we get her. There's a movie on Netflix currently. I'm pretty sure it just came out like 2-3 weeks ago. And I believe it has Jamie Foxx, and it's a vampire movie. But it's like a comedy vampire movie. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like,
so is that what we're going to talk about if we don't get our guest?
Yeah, that'll be our backup plan. So everyone else watching between now and then, watch the, I think it's Jamie Foxx vampire movie on Netflix if you have it.
Well, what's it called?
Well, son of a bitch. The one with Snoop. Yes, Derek Winsky. What is that called? So I don't have to Google it.
I don't even have my phone with me right now.
Here, let me Google it. Jamie Foxx Day Shift. So basically these guys are like vampire murderers, and they for whatever reason Jamie Foxx gets kicked out of like the vampire killer union and gets brought back on by Snoop Dogg, and then he's but he has to work the day shift, which is like kind of like being the day shift stripper. Nobody wants that job.
Yeah, I work during the day on Tuesdays at the strip club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Stephen Belcher Day Shift. Yeah, I pseudo watched it. It was while I was packing before I left, and it was like super funny. And I thought, it would be a movie I would want to watch. But I figured since you haven't seen it, and I kind of haven't seen it, that if we watched it between now and next week, we could kind of like talk about that movie, because it was what I saw was really funny and really good. So
okay, good. Well, I like to laugh, so
it'd be a good backup. But I'm really hoping we get this actress on because I have questions that need to be answered.
Gotcha.
Like I guess she lives in Boston that's kind of a hint. But
right.
When you work with someone like Adam Sandler, you know what I mean? Like because she's not like a real well-known actress. It's like, how do you function around huge celebrities like that? Like, not like you as a person.
Well, I guess it depends. I guess it depends on how like they act as a person. Because I've heard some of them are just fucking assholes and total like spoiled brats on set, and some of them are really fucking cool to work with. So, I think I could work with just about anybody and not have a fan freak out as long as they weren't acting like a fucking asshole.
Well, and it's funny because I've been told that Malcolm McDowell is like a real dick to everyone.
Really?
And when I met him, he was like super nice to me, like really nice. And it's people that I was in line with that were like, he's a dick. And then I went up and talked to him, and he was like this nicest dude alive.
Huh? Why were they in line to talk to him if he was such a dick?
Probably just to get his autograph.
Yeah. I see how it is.
My dog just being a little. I think
is he okay?
He just super missed me. Well, he's got allergies, and so he needs to take Benadryl, to kind of like.
Benadryl doesn't really help with that because Benadryl is made for human upper respiratory stuff. Benadryl is not going to help a dog with like full body allergies from like pollen and grass and everything. Your dog needs to have a Cytopoint injection or Apoquil, and they're both prescription.
Okay.
It's really the only thing that works. Talk to your vet about it. They're both really expensive.
Right.
But the Cytopoint is an injection. It lasts 4 to 8 weeks. And the Apoquil is a tablet that they take twice a day. And sometimes you can get down to once a day.
And how long do they got to take it for? Twice a day for the rest of their lives?
Depends on how bad their allergies are.
Holy
so if they're just seasonal, just do it during like the fall and spring when the allergies are the worst.
Looks like I'm having dog burger for dinner. Hey.
I mean, so I've had lots of pit bull mixes and pit bulls, and all those breeds tend to have a lot of allergies to all kinds. I mean, they just have allergies. They're just freaks of nature that way. Do you have allergies too?
No, I got sunburnt.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I was okay. So they're allergic to like grass, pollen, dust, corn, wheat, beef, chicken, just food allergies, environmental allergies, all kinds of stuff. And really, I did done a lot of schooling on that in particular because it's an interest to me in veterinary medicine.
Well, the girl told me that they had there's like railroad across the street from my house, and they just mowed it all down. Right. Remember I told you that we got attacked by bees? Yeah. So they had whacked it all down, and I've been taking them over there. Well, he was kind of chewing on the bee spots. Well, and then I thought when I left, he had gotten like some anxiety because he was like, he hadn't healed and he was still going out. I'm like, he should have been healed by now. It's like 2 weeks ago. And then the girl told me that it's a lot of times they chew on their butts because of allergies, and that if you give them like Benadryl, it's supposed to help them, like how it would help us. And I was like,
it doesn't work that way though, dude.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. It might help sometimes if they have like mild respiratory symptoms, but like it doesn't help with the itching. It really doesn't. It maybe puts a tiny little dent in it, but I would go for the stuff that works, and that's Apoquil or Cytopoint. I sound like a commercial, but they really do work. They are worth the money. So
yeah, I'll have to look into that and see.
Yeah, talk to your vet about it.
I will.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think we covered our last couple weeks pretty good. Yeah.
Oh! Steven wants to know, what if you're a werewolf?
What if I'm a werewolf? Oh yeah.
I mean, see that itching is your hair starting to poke through your skin, the coarse hair, like that guard hair. You'd make a really good werewolf, I think.
I would make.
I think you really would.
Before we go, let me tell you this really funny story.
Okay.
We were down in El Ranchero, San Diego, and we were staying on an RV resort. Santiago. Means Saint by the Sea or something.
Means a whale's vagina.
But, so we're at the hot tub one night with these people that camped next to us, and we're walking back, and they kind of staggered behind us, and there was a dumpster, And I went and hid behind the dumpster as Angela kept walking, and I could hear them walking. As soon as they got next to the dumpster, I started beating on it, and I go like, I do exactly this. And I shit you not, they fucking lost it. They fucking lost it. They were like, what? They freaked out. It was so funny. But I have a good snarl, so if ever anyone's filming a werewolf movie and needs a good I'm your guy.
Yeah.
And apparently I have the body hair for it, but I use Nair, so I do not have the body hair for it. But
you're a Nair bear.
I'm a Nair bear. So
yes.
Hopefully, guys, next week we have a special guest for you. But if not, we are going to watch Day Shift and dissect that movie.
Yes.
Yeah. It was a good time hanging out and seeing your face.
Yes, I missed you a lot. I'm just so glad that you're home.
I am home, and I am also glad I am home. I missed my house.
Yes.
And my porch with the creek outside, which has been
your dog.
Fuck him.
He's going to cost you money.
He didn't hear me. Well, until next week, folks, we love you guys. Right. We appreciate you all being here. Don't forget that tonight's sponsors, Piercings by Derek. If you're in the Michigan area, go to the Canvas Tattoo Studio and get your piercing by Derek.
Nice. I might go to the Michigan area sometime.
And if you do, and you decide to get a piercing or tattoo, go see Derek over at the Canvas Tattoo Studio in Michigan. All right.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Thank you. And we'll see you next time on 66.6 on your AM dial. Welcome to the Zompire Horde podcast. Join us every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, as your hosts, Vlad the Rad and Michelle of the Dead, discuss horror, true crime, and the macabre. Episodes available on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Join us, won't you?